Check one, oh baby.
Check. Woo!
Oh baby, everybody. And we're back. Welcome back to Words with Wayman. We got a nice little part 2 with St. Louis comedian, musician, all around talented guy, Mr. Jon Venegoni is back.
Hey.
I always say like we're back, even though it was
back.
like 2 minutes ago that we stopped the first episode, and now we're back for the second one.
I just stepped outside for a quick break. I'm feeling great.
You did a couple push-ups. You ran around the block one time.
Did
Now
some
we're ready
calisthenics. My heart rate's up.
He taught me some stretches.
Mhm.
We're both extremely sweaty, but
Wow, yeah.
that's what this podcast is about. So we talked a little bit about writing. On the first one, we talked about how we met. We've done some weird shows together
We
before.
did, man.
We did a show at the Blue Note, a huge venue in Columbia when we were like a year in, like a sketch show, and we'd never done sketch before.
Nope, not at all.
They're
or
like-
written sketches.
No.
Or performed it. Oh my god, it was horrible.
It was so bad looking back on it. And I feel like,
Remember when Cap was born though? Didn't Diggy give birth to Cap Lee or something like that?
yeah, we did a couple other comedians in Columbia, Missouri when we started down there. We did like a live birth scene because we thought that would really hit the 15 people that were in this 300-person venue.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was a bad day.
It's weird to even like look back on those shows and even think like that's something that we thought was a good idea to do.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, everybody always takes off a bigger bite than they can chew at first, you know?
Yeah, I think it's probably smart. At least you got to try.
It's like how I mentioned earlier when kids scoff at like, oh, you're doing only 3 to 5. It's like, dude, that's all you have, like if that. So
Yeah.
if you get laughs the whole time, then you have a legit 5 minutes. You don't have a legit 5 minutes yet.
I feel like I've got like 20 to 25 minutes of material that I feel comfortable doing in front of people.
Yeah, I have like a good 25 to 30 that I feel like this is good, and it depends on how you take it too.
It really does. It depends on if like, I mean, you do more long form stuff.
Crowd work, you know?
Yeah.
Just playing bingo. That's
Yeah.
my crowd work normally. Is I just pull out some bingo cards.
Comedy bingo, everybody.
Comedy bingo. Actually, Chicago has a great comedy bingo show.
Oh, really?
They did, yeah. Where it was like a bunch of, like, the guy mentions that he's single. Like that's a bingo. Yeah, pretty awesome.
Everybody gets
9/11
bingo.
joke right towards the free space.
There we go, comedy scavenger hunt. I always say that during the list whenever I tell, let's say something really weird. I'm like,
Yeah.
cross that off the comedy scavenger hunt list. That nobody wanted or knew was happening at that time.
It's a free show.
You go up at the Helium, which is it's a national chain, but we have one now, and it's located in the bottom of the gallery in St. Louis. How did you get started at that club?
Oh, well, the guy that was opening it up when I was still running Fitz's came by just to kind of check out the scene and got to know him. And he's been gone from the company. Then like the manager after that was gone.
Yeah.
And now it's under more like new management. But like they're doing a great job. Like Helium's a really well run place. They take good care of me.
It's an A club.
It is. Yeah. Like I really feel like that they do want the local artists to grow and get better. So like if anybody's newer listening to this, like hop in there and you can
do
get
their
notes. Exactly, do their mic. It's Wednesdays. They have like online sign up, which is nice. It's different than what I'd had before, but I still have all the clubs in St. Louis.
Yeah, and it's one of those things for people that don't know. A club is where you get like national headliners. B club is where you get like guys that may have done SNL once in the 80s that are still touring. And C clubs are everybody's crazy wacky uncle.
Yeah, Uncle Leroy from
all his credits are
Wyoming.
from being arrested on the news.
Yeah, exactly. 25 different mugshots.
So it is cool. At least it's big for St. Louis to have at least one A club all the time, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, and they're really solid. I really love working there. They've always been great to me. So yeah,
it's nice. It gives us a chance to stretch our legs. You are also involved with Fatal Bus Accident, which is probably, in my opinion, absolutely one of the best shows in St. Louis. Can you kind of tell people how that started?
Dude, well, thanks for that. That's really nice of you. It's we work hard on it. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was a few years ago. I wasn't even meant to be like on the show directly, like Jeremy.
They tried to keep you off.
Yeah, exactly. I grew on them like a fungus. But Jeremy and Amy, Jeremy Helwig, Amy Milton, Stryker Spurlock, they started it a few years ago. We actually remember when Art Bar was around. Remember that place?
Yeah, it was this little bar that did comedy for a while before it closed down. It was off Chippewa Street in St. Louis.
Well,
Cherokee.
Yeah,
sorry.
Cherokee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And dude, that was fun. We did our first show there, and like it was really kind of that really small back room thing. And then we realized we were smashing stuff. We're like, oh, I guess we think we're Eric Andre. And so, no, it was still fun. Like our first show, we're really proud of. Like there's some fun videos. And
Describe
stuff,
the form of the show for people that have never seen it.
All right. It's basically okay. So what we do every month is we basically write like a play every month, and it's meant to be like a talk show, but it's not really a talk show. So it's almost like a talk show about a talk show type of deal. We used to have like notable St. Louis people on, like people that were actually doing stuff, but then we realized that we're just kind of fucking with them. Like when they were on the show, we were just being like mean because we're comedians, like acting out weirdly and stuff.
Yeah.
And so now all of our characters are character concepts that we write, and then we have comedians from in town play them.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of rehearsal, a lot of writing. Jeremy, Amy, and Stryker are just all amazing writers.
Super
They're
good
all
writers.
so good. I'm like the house band in it.
Yeah, which
and
is so cool.
I'm like a cast member / house band, and I play a huge dumbass. I'm a bird.
You bring like loopers and stuff, right?
Yep, I just use my loop pedal and my iPad and my mouth to make music. So that's a lot of fun.
It's super cool. You guys also incorporate video content, which I think is really high level.
Thanks, man. Stryker is a hell of an editor, and he's starting to become a little producer, man. He's doing it. And I just I've learned so much about writing by working with those cats, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They're awesome.
It's cool too because you guys were doing it at the Heavy Anchor, but then it actually outgrew that, and now you guys are doing it down at the Improv Shop.
Yeah, we're really lucky too. The Improv Shop's allowing us to use their amazing facilities, like the big stage there.
Yeah.
We did it for the first time in September, and oh my god, like Andy Slowey made us look like rock stars. Like they have such good lighting, the audio's amazing. They have like green rooms so we can have like legitimate reveals, like from people entering the stage. Like there's no people walking around in costume the whole time, and everybody kind of knows what's happening.
Yeah.
So it just feels a lot more like a play, and we had the best problems happen to us. Like Heavy Anchor is just so good to us. I love Josh and Jody. They're great people. Most amazing venue in the world. Like they're awesome, but like we had the best problem in the world of like running out of seats.
Yeah.
So we had to go to the next one. So it's one of those really rare times where you're trying to accommodate people, like more people as opposed to less.
This is going to be released in a couple weeks. When are the next upcoming shows that people can check out for that?
We don't have one in October. We're going to have one though on November 9th for the Flyover Festival.
Flyover Fest.
Yeah, it's going to be Thursday night at 10:15. So
opening night.
First night, yeah, opening night. Where we're just saying that we're headlining the first night, but we're not. We're just going
cool.
Last show, first night. Improv Shop 10:15. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like this one that we're working on. Oh my God, I'm really really proud of this one.
Yeah.
The Pope's going to be there.
Whoa.
So yeah, the Pope's going to be there.
Making another appearance in St. Louis.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're in on our show nonetheless, so you're going to love it.
More JP2 was here a while back, and now
JP3, JP4, yeah.
Now JV1.
JV1, absolutely.
Jon Venegoni the first. It's gonna make it back.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing up Fatal Bus, man. It's like my favorite thing that I do right now. And
it's such a cool show, and it makes I feel like it's one of those things where you can kind of tell a scene by how I don't want to call it like weird, but it's just like a cool, really different concept of a show that works out well.
Thanks, man. I once again, like we're really proud of it, and it's so funny working with like writers that are that good because they really do have a new view, and I'm like, what if we do this? And they're like, yeah, but we got to make it different, and so. And, at first I was like, wait, you're just making it weird. But it's like, no, we should make it different. So we have developed a voice as a show. Like we have canon, we have our characters decided. Yeah.
Nice. It is definitely one of those shows that if you guys live in St. Louis out there, or if not, come and get a cheap Southwest flight.
Yeah. Well, and any all out of town comedians too, if you let us know, you can follow the page on Facebook, send us a message. And if you're in town, we love to put travelers up on stage. So
yeah, the last one I went to.
We have to have a video, and none of y'all bunk-ass dudes.
Yeah.
Only good ones.
What I saw a really awesome LA comic and a great New York comic to the show I went to last time.
Yeah.
So from all over the country, which is really cool.
Yeah, we have had a lot of people traveling through, and it's been lucky because we used to have the show on Wednesday, and they're like, well, we're in town on Wednesday. Is there anything good? And people are like, Fatal Bus Accident's doing it. So
it is kind of one of those shows that if you come through and you get the opportunity to do it, I feel like it makes the scene look really good too. Because there is a fantastic comedy scene in St. Louis.
We're a little undersung, man. We got some talented people here.
Got some crushers. What is your, I guess I always ask this question on the podcast, but 5 years from now, best case scenario, what would your life look like? Comedy or not?
Oof.
Well, obviously comedy, but.
Best case scenario, and I don't mean to sound like I just want to be happy, but yeah, I do want to be happy with whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
If I still have a job, that's fine. Hopefully, I'm making more money. But if I were entertaining, I think it'd be cool, like writing and performing in the show. I have like falling in love with doing sketch and acting and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the cool part. I feel like a lot of people are like, just stand up. But I think it's cool that you're like stand up sketch and you also do
Stand-up's
music.
always there, man.
Mhm.
Like, whatever town I'm in, I can find a show to hop onto. We have a horror community, as you know.
It's true.
Somebody knows somebody in another city, and they can vouch for you and get you a showcase when you're out of town. Or you can find a club system that has multiple franchises and have that GM speak on your behalf. Like, all sorts of cool stuff. can
Yeah,
happen.
you've done that. You've toured around and hosted at other clubs around the country.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like when it comes to like real paid work, I've only like done like Looney Bins and
Nice.
like clubs. It would be like the Looney Bins, Funny Bone, and Helium. So
I mean, that's still more than
Yeah.
a lot of people have done. I mean, that's one of the harder things when you're starting comedy and getting a little bit better. It's kind of figuring out the business side of how to navigate working these clubs.
and I still only know about scratching the surface.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's like really how much time can you physically put into doing that without giving up your soul, really?
Yeah, absolutely. It's and it's in speaking of giving your soul, it sounds like from what I've understood so far that there is a lot of soul giving. So there's plenty of time for that.
Yeah, there's more years.
Yeah, I'll compromise myself. I don't care.
I feel like you have to if you want
Yeah.
to, if you actually want this
We
to
were
work
talking
as a
about that,
career.
like what people call pandering. I was like, oh, you mean relating with people?
Some people don't want to pander to an
Well, I
audience.
mean, like pandering's different than like giving than meeting somebody on their level.
yeah, but it's like
Have a little empathy. Have a little social tact, right?
it's like there's a 7-year-old up front. Are you really gonna do your dick fart joke in front of a
Exactly. My
7-year-old
9/11
child?
dick fart rape joke. Jesus, that's a terrible joke.
It is. I think it's a good joke.
Thanks. I mean, it's well written. It's well written. Gosh.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, I that's one of my favorite new guy things too. It's like, what do you mean that my super
Sexually aggressive.
hot take on something didn't work out well? It's like, yeah, definitely the crowd's fault, not yours.
Yeah, and everybody else has heard that your interesting take on white male privilege.
Yeah,
before.
exactly, dude. It is hard out there for white dudes.
It's tough.
Man.
I want to talk about that on stage.
Yeah, why don't you have a podcast about that? There's plenty of podcasts about that.
There is plenty.
God,
Podcasts are already masturbatory enough. I was just trying to get that word into both episodes of the podcast.
masturbatory.
Masturbatory. I just learned what it meant last week, so
Oh, really?
yeah.
Nice. It means to hug and to love.
Love hug?
Love hug.
So we talked a little bit about like advice to younger comics. I want to throw that question again at you. What's good advice that somebody has given you about comedy?
The best one was like from earlier, like the cutting.
Mhm.
Recording's really good. Try everything too, you know. And also, actually, my best advice is this: take people's advice as much as you can.
Yeah.
What worked for one guy or gal is not going to work out for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you feel like what they're saying is off base, don't listen to it. You're you at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's a good point. Some people just give terrible advice.
Yeah,
You
right.
shouldn't take all advice.
I've given bad advice.
Yeah.
And then I've thought back a few months later, like I really, really hope my friend didn't hear me out when I said that, because I was drinking whiskey all day.
Ham-boned.
Exactly, ham boned.
One comic was like, "Don't take advice," and I was like, "Is that advice though?"
No, take what you can. Like I watch TEDx talks, and I'm not gonna not create waste for the rest of my life, but I saw that there's a cool few ways that you can minimize waste, right?
Yeah.
You know, take what you can.
Baby steps.
Exactly.
And I always thought it was
yeah.
weird because telling somebody not to take advice is advice.
right?
So that's
Exactly. That's why I say take what you can.
Yeah.
I'm being just a wussy centrist, you know?
I like that.
Yeah.
That could be a podcast, Wussy Centrist.
The wussy centrist.
No.
Everything's, it might be okay.
Wussy Centrist.
Everything's,
Everything's
At the
meh.
end of the day, I wouldn't say it was bad.
Yeah. Wouldn't say it was good.
Exactly.
You gonna stick around St. Louis? You think? Do you want to live here for the foreseeable future?
I do have aspirations to like live in another city,
Mhm.
and it's weird because I've never even like hung out in New York, but I just feel like eventually I want to end up there.
Yeah.
Which I know like I'll hear this years from now and be like, I was such a turd. But
No.
I don't know. I don't know anything yet, but one thing I do know is I might want to end up there.
And I think
Bigger
you
market,
should.
try out something new. Yeah.
I mean, you'll never know to see what your stuff is like on a national scale unless you go to a huge like hub like that.
Yeah. And until I have a job there that I know that I can support myself and pay for rent, because money troubles do really stress me out, and like
Yeah.
they can really add to depression and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure that that's handled. I want to go to New York only if New York wants me.
And like
You
the
know?
grind is glorified. And it's like, how much fun is that with no job or like walking dogs or just doing an Uber thing when you're making no money and living in a super expensive city?
Exactly, because I need to go out and have fun, and in fact, I live lavishly here. I live way more lavishly than I should
You
because
can
I'm
go
horrible with
drinking
my
all
money.
night and spend $20, $30.
Exactly. Yeah, I can get hammered for $15.
As opposed to a $15 Jim Beam and
Yeah.
soda.
Oh my God, it's $12 Bud Light night. Woo!
Oh God, and that's
Terrible.
a deal.
Why? Yeah, it comes with a free kick in the nuts.
God, but
More
it
like
can be-
unhappy hour.
Yeah. But I can tell my parents I did 4 minutes at the Chuckle Factory last week.
Yeah, exactly. 2 drink minimum.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Bringer shows. Let's do this. But I think you're right. Unlike I feel like I'm the same way. Wait till you're brought out somewhere so you actually have something that you're capable of giving them.
I don't think you should go to New York unless New York wants you.
And if you're honed and you're ready to go and they're ready for you, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if not, it's
And
like, what's
I
the point?
still have plenty of opportunities here to keep sharpening my claws, my
Yeah.
teeth, and my delivery, all
Yeah.
my stuff. My claws and teeth are important for attacking the crowd.
It's true. You
Yeah.
do a lot of violent stuff, which I appreciate.
That's why they call me the Wolverine, dude.
Yeah, leave them wanting more blood because they lost so much during that show.
Exactly. Can I get a couple pints over here? I'd be positive about that. You know what I mean?
God, I feel like I should just stop the episode right now because we
Wow.
already got what we needed to.
Puns.
That's how quickly these things go. I want to thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having me, man.
Where do people find you on the interwebs?
At Jon Venegoni. Jon Venegoni. Venegoni.
Guys,
Everywhere. Yep.
support him on the interwebs. Support us. You know where to find us because you're currently listening.
Yeah.
Thanks again. Thanks for doing this. I wanted to have you out for a long time. I'm glad you could finally make it.
Me too, man.
Hand five. We just hand touched everybody.
Hand five.
That's what I'm trying to bring. I'm trying to call high fives hand touches. So.
Give me a hand touch.
Hand touch. Sounds creepier, guys. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll see you all soon.
Beside the streets and the fireflies, don't let me down. There's near fiddles up and down this town. Just let me in. I'll set fire to the soul of sin.